All right, folks, we're going to dive into this here. We're going to be talking about his top 5 wrestling interactions in the sport of pro wrestling.
You know, that's how it's going to work.
So we're going to start out with an honorable mention here of somebody you met. But before we do that, have you ever had a bad experience meeting a wrestler?
I probably have. I've had a couple that I felt very discarded by.
Okay.
Honestly, probably my worst in-person interaction was Prince Nana.
Oh,
which is very interesting, considering that I've gotten a TikTok or a cameo from him, and I find him hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But when I met him, he gave me an autograph and signed it to the wrong person.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I didn't realize it till I had moved on.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the hell? Yeah, but at that same show, I think he was managing Roderick Strong at the time, maybe? I think they were near each other, and me and Roddy had gotten to joking about how he wanted to chop me because I'd wore a Dragon Gate USA shirt.
Oh, okay.
To the Ring of Honor show meet and greet.
It's always funny how we have subtle ways of, just. I'm sure you're pretty good at that, like me.
Oh, yeah. I like my little jabs.
Yeah.
Well, one guy that I didn't even have on here, now I look back on it and realize that he was strictly there for money. But Eric Bischoff, I managed to pop him when I met him because I had a promotional shirt from his beer.
Oh, okay.
And that's what I got him to sign.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, I'm the king of random wrestling collectibles.
Yeah, I think you and Bob would have got along just great. He always had the weird things that got signed, and now when I go to like the local shows and stuff, I see other people kind of emulating that in our area, and I'm just thinking, wonder where you got that idea, because he always had a theme. Like he brought a giant ass 2x4 with nails in it to get Abyss to sign it. He brought Barbie for Mick Foley, and security literally called and said, "There's a dude here with a barbed wire bat." And they're like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh, he's claiming he's going to get it autographed." And the promoter's like, "That's Bob. It's fine. It's fine." And I'll have to send you the photo off camera here and post it one of these days on the friends page. But Bob always made that stuff. He made a walking stick for the boogeyman to sign. Like he took that extra step, like you do, to get things signed. Because
put down random stuff. I ain't making anything. I'm not that creative, not that handy of a man over here. But I have like a Paul Heyman signed cell phone.
That is amazing. I think I've seen that on your either your personal page or the Tell 5 page, and that is like amazing because
it's just signed softball.
Oh my god! So he actually canceled the show up here because he was playing softball, But now that you bring that up with the phone, this is totally off wrestling. I would bring a cordless phone out to the bar. And then I would jokingly talk to like girls and say, "Hey, can I get your number?" And I would pull out that phone. They're like, either they would laugh or say you're stupid, and I would just laugh. I wouldn't even like really get the phone number because it was more for the stupidity of it. And my friends wanted me to go be me, because I'm not the guy that chases the girls at the bar. I'm not very good looking. I just have a great beard. But that just unlocked a core memory from 2008 when I would bring the stupid cordless phone places. Oh boy. The youth of Cranderq, I tell you.
Dude, it's anything to pop the boys.
Yep. I mean, now I'm carrying around a doll in honor of my friend Bob, who passed away. So, I mean, it's what it is.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Bob, but, just brought him to WrestlePalooza, or not WrestlePalooza, excuse me, Saturday Night Nitro. I go to so many WrestlePaloozas in Minneapolis. First wrestling, the WrestlePaloozas that I know, not this WWE pay-per-view that's coming out. There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You say WrestlePalooza to me, and I think of that garbage.
Yeah. So
I'm not up there.
You would have loved WrestlePalooza here in Minneapolis area. We would have had a blast together. But let's just dive into this here. We could talk all day. We're gonna get him on another episode. We're gonna do a live one night. A lot of things coming from us here and Jay Rich. He's probably still sleeping again because it is early here. But we're gonna jump into your first honorable mention of wrestlers you met. Now, you've mentioned that Nigel McGuinness is honorable mention. How did that experience go for you?
Okay, first off, I don't consider Nigel a wrestler that I've met. I consider him a friend at this point. Nigel, I love Nigel McGuinness. He's one of the nicest people I've ever had a chance to meet. Nigel main evented my first Ring of Honor show.
Okay.
And when he was getting ready to retire and started the Last of McGuinness tour, like I followed Nigel forever.
Okay.
Like I was a fan. He decided to do the documentary about the end of his career. Me and my dad wanted to help support it. So we donated to it for an autograph 8x10 and a DVD of it once it's done. So my dad ends up with end-stage renal failure.
Okay.
I messaged Nigel and say, can you send me the autograph? Because I knew my dad wasn't going to live to see the documentary.
Mm-hmm.
He says, absolutely. I get it. I take a picture of my dad with it, send it to Nigel to thank him. So I get the documentary. My dad dies in August. In November, I think, I'm watching the documentary for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And Nigel's talking about what matters to him in his career not being where he went, but the people he met and the lives he's touched. And the picture I sent him of my dad with that 8x10 is in the documentary.
Now that's badass. I literally just got to
didn't know. I started bawling. And I messaged him and I said, I appreciate this. I will return the favor someday. Years later, I'm working for a pop culture convention called Fanboy Expo.
Mm-hmm.
We decided to try something different and book some indie wrestlers, some lesser known people. We book Colt Cabana, Cliff Compton, and Nigel.
Okay.
And this is the first time me and him ever meet in person. We meet, we talk, we hit it off, exchange numbers, and a couple of weeks later, Ring of Honor is in Nashville for Best in the World. And he says, hey, I'm going to be down there. Get up with me. So I get up with him. We end up going out the night before the show. And me and him and some of his friends and some people that we both knew down there. Mm-hmm. And we go to the bars and Nigel is doing karaoke with us. And the next night is the Ring of Honor show. And we're all just hanging out in the parking lot having a good time till 2 a.m. with there's the Briscoe brothers, Matt Hardy, Nigel. It's just, I can't put into words how special that kind of experience is for a fan.
Yeah.
And the fact, like, we still text today. That picture that I sent is his first match in Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
And I had to go to that show. Like, that's to go see him again and see him wrestle. And that's the first win he's had in forever. So, hell yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Great story. Yeah. Now, I put for my honorable mention here, D'Lo Brown and Ron Simmons. Now, the reason why this interaction is so funny to me and kind of on the honorable mention list here was growing up, getting into wrestling. I didn't know who was who. I didn't know, who the best was or who champions were at the time. And I just remember, Ahmed Johnson. That dude's stacked. Look at that boy, and then, excuse me, not boy. I don't want to sound like one of those honkies. Sorry. And I just remember, like, holy cow, he's so big. He's so tough, and, next thing you know, here comes Farouk and just drops him. And I was like, as a kid, I'm like, my favorite wrestler just got beat up. I'm now a Farouk fan because I ain't rooting for somebody getting beat up. Now, we all know Ahmed Johnson does not have the best past in WWE, WWF back then. And I remember telling Ron Simmons this story, and he just looks at D'Lo and goes, "This boy like Ahmed Johnson," and he's just clowning on Ahmed and D'Lo. They're just going back and forth for a good 3 minutes, laughing how I thought Ahmed Johnson was a great wrestler. And then he's like, "Do you still like Ahmed?" And I'm like, "No, sir. I became a Ron Simmons fan that day when you beat him up, because I feel like Ahmed was gone shortly after that because he wasn't around too much that I remember. But, I really want to get that action figure of Farouk because it has such a impact moment in my wrestling fandom. It's like one of the 3 or 4 that I strictly remember where I got sucked in beyond the fan, What's that?
That moment where you became addicted to wrestling.
Yeah. And I just, I just remember him in that blue and that helmet, and I was just like, man, he's so cool. He beat up my wrestler, so.
Well, for me, what my moment of addiction was the NWO. The first time I saw Hollywood Hogan spray painting people.
Oh, okay.
I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because I grew up, my brother was 4 years older than me. So in 90 and 91, he was a big Hulk Hogan fan.
Okay.
He was 9 years old, like, yeah, Hulk Hogan. I never liked that guy. I liked the Ultimate Warrior. He was flashy, but Hogan beat him down. So when I get older and I'm that age, and here Hogan is beating people up and spray painting them, instead of being that nice guy, I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. And that was the day I became NWO for life.
That's right. And I love the original NWO before it got so watered down in 9 different flavors. The lawn dart always sticks with me of good old Rey Mysterio there. But we're going to jump into number 5 here. Hopefully I put these in order. Otherwise we'll have a quick little glitch and we'll fix it. But number 5 for you was Double J, Jeff Jarrett. I'm not going to do the song, folks, because I'm going to mess it up. But why Jeff Jarrett at number 5?
So particularly that interaction, I've met Jeff several times. First time I met him was actually my first meet and greet ever.
Okay.
I met Jeff Jarrett, Miss Kitty, and Test.
Oh,
and had Jeff.
It's quite the combo right there.
I had Jeff and Test sign my WrestleMania 15 shirt because at WrestleMania 15, it was Test and D'Lo Brown against Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett for the tag team titles.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I was like,
that tag team for a hot minute. Yep.
Yeah. Even at that age, I thought it was a cool idea. And this was like 99. So, but that picture in particular there was a GFW show.
Okay.
That same pop culture convention I used to work with, we offered a spot to GFW to come in and promote their shows because they were doing a show in Knoxville too, a couple of weeks later. And they were doing like shows within 4 hours of ours. So they came and set up, and I hit it off with a couple of their people. And when I went to the GFW show, Jeff made it a point to come over and, thank you so much. We got an extra 50 people here thanks to you. Anything that you want here is on us. Don't worry about it. Dude, that show I got to meet the Young Bucks. I got to meet the Good Brothers, Jigsaw, Chuck Taylor. It was stacked with wrestlers that you love, I love. So, and my program, they gave me a program, and then I was a big fan of libations back then. And one of the guys was like, hey, if you'll get me another court, I'll get you some tickets for our show in Bowling Green.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like me and my wife and my stepdaughter, we all loaded up and went. And it was another like, just Jeff remembered me there. He was like, Aaron, you're back. Hey, great to see you, man. Glad you can make it out here. Yeah, he told me what he's getting from you. A super nice guy, though. Like him and Karen both.
Yep.
Moose overheard the interaction and was like, oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. It was nice to have that kind of interaction.
And I believe he was in the background of that photo that I cropped, too.
Yes.
So that was pretty cool. I was going to ask you about that, but I was trying to hurry up and get the edits done, I think, that night before bed. So
yeah, a lot of great interactions with wrestlers. And that's
I love Jeff Jarrett. I thought the guitar thing was cool. I thought he was cooler than the honky tonk man with the guitar. Sorry. And then I remember me and Bob were. What's that?
I said, don't be sorry about that.
Yeah. And Bob and I got to meet him at a show that Hornswoggle ran. And that year they didn't let us bring in chairs. And Bob was a chair guy. Fast forward, and it's like, well, that's considered a weapon. It's like, you have 500 of them on the basketball court, but we can't bring in one to get signed? And the guy's like, well, that's a weapon. And my buddy Bob, who is very quiet in nature, is like, what's stopping me from picking one up and using it as a weapon? You getting smart with me? No, I'm just putting logistics together here to make it make sense. And we wanted Jeff Jarrett to sign our NWO shirt or chair that we had because he was in the NWO because we were trying to get so many members on it. Well, now we only have the main four minus Hogan, X-Pac, Hall, Nash, and Bischoff, but we were going to have everyone in the NWO that we could think of sign those chairs to have like this commemorative thing. Now it's kind of even more special because it's just Nash, Hall, X-Pac, and Bischoff. I just couldn't believe it. And then even Jeff Jarrett's like, they won't let you bring in a chair to a wrestling show to get signed. That doesn't make sense. I'm like, right.
Yeah.
But we'll jump into number 4 here. Got to make sure I hit the right graphic here, folks. Number 4, Cody Rhodes. I love that you're flipping him off. What's special about Cody Rhodes being at number 4?
So that is at an NGW show in Newport, Tennessee.
Okay.
Next Gen Tennessee Wrestling. If you've never seen their shows, they're available on High Spots, and they remind me a lot of Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
Okay.
Like they are stacked shows. This show was main evented by Cody Rhodes against Matt Cross.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Another great beard.
Yeah. And Cody is looking for a chair to hit
at a wrestling show, folks. A chair at a wrestling show.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm heated. I'm heated. I'm all like upset.
Yeah, it's perfect. So I'm one of the few people, because of my size, in a metal one and not a plastic one. So I jump up, close mine, and offer him mine. Mind you, look at that picture. I'm in a Bullet Club shirt. Like I had that made specifically for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Hand him my chair. He takes it. He goes to Too Sweet me. I go to Too Sweet him. He pulls his hand back and flips me off. Slides in the ring and ends up missing the chair spot and losing the match. Well, after the show, I'm waiting to talk to the Tate twins because I had made a graphic for them. And Cody comes up to me. And it's, hey, man, I want to apologize. He said, I was just working. I said, dude, I get it, man. You're the heel tonight. It makes sense. He goes, and it was his idea. He said, let's take a picture of you flipping me off.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, oh, is this your wife? Goes, yeah. And it's, come on over. Let's all take a picture. And afterwards, he leaves and she goes, oh my God, I got to touch a sweaty Cody Rhodes.
She was probably like, he was so dreamy.
She was like, that was amazing. And she goes, but his hair looks like it would be so dry.
There's my TikTok clip. No, I'm just kidding.
My wife is a licensed cosmetologist. She was a hairstylist at the time, so she notices that kind of thing.
I wonder why he hasn't helped tan yet with his beard. Just kidding. I'm sorry.
Well, she's offered, and he's like, I'm very particular about my beard. So, here we are. She's keeping her skills, but he's got a smoking hot nail tech girlfriend now that she's also licensed to do that. So she started to help him with it.
Okay.
It's improving.
Okay.
It's improving.
Okay. My wife beats me at Mario Kart, and she's smoking hot too. So I love her. Shout out to the wife, because this next thing might get me in trouble. So here is my number 4, folks, is Victoria. So as I mentioned, I love my wife, and we don't talk about this stuff too much on our page or anything, but that was like, the badass crush back in the day. And I'm not going to get into, any of that too much, but every time I have met Victoria, she has been nothing but a sweetheart, super nice, super welcoming at her table. She has signed a couple things for us for our giveaways, which kind of ties into this, I guess. Women in Nations coming up here in Minneapolis, St. Paul area. She signed a chair that we gave away for the raffle for people to buy raffle tickets and stuff. She took a picture, for free with me and my buddy, one time. So like, she's super nice, super approachable, nothing like she is as Victoria in the ring. And I usually don't say this too much about, wrestlers not getting a shot or, getting what they deserve, but she is one that I felt was born too early, because she would excel in this climate today in women's wrestling. She would dominate WWE. She would dominate AEW, Ring of Honor, because, that Black Widow, phenomenal. Just born too late,
Victoria was a great worker, dude.
Yep.
She always, and I hate that she doesn't get her flowers now.
Yeah. Well, she got that Legends deal, so hopefully more things start to roll out. I play the Supercard game a lot. She's got a lot of stuff in that, so hopefully we start seeing some merch. And she doesn't like to talk about it because I'm sure she doesn't want to look, desperate like some. But the Hall of Fame thing, like everyone tells her that at the table. One thing I forgot to mention, in the back of the photo, you see that white blur. That is a sign. That isn't. I'm trying to think what else I could call it, but that is Lance Hoyt, aka Lance Archer, threatening to hit me with a chair. I'll send you the photo off camera. That dude scares the shit out of me, so he isn't going to be on my list. He has yelled at me at multiple shows. He beat up somebody front row, and the kid next to me was crying. And I was like, "That's how he makes me feel," and I'm a grown man. I can say man because I have a beard, but I'll have to send you the other photo because it's really blurry, where he's like ready to hit me with that. And I turn around and I damn near shit my pants because he was right there. I didn't know he was doing that. It's probably because he knew I was afraid of him, but I'm sure Victoria would have kicked his ass for me. But
protected you, don't worry about it.
Yeah, she is a gem. I wrote up a sign that said, "Victoria, will you marry me?" Again, before my wife. I love my wife, folks. Randy, take a shot. Old throwback. But then she came over and ripped it up. I was so bummed. Well, then I turned it over and it said, "I love you, Emma," because she was wrestling Emma at that show. And I was like, well, you broke my heart, so I'm going to, go for the other girl, I guess. And I've been giving her shit every time I see her at a show that she owes me 60 cents for my paper sign. And she gave me a little card thing. I think she autographed it, but I lost it. She's like, "Here's your 60 cents, you little smart ass." So she is a treat for sure in the wrestling world. But we're going to jump to number 3 here. Rowdy Piper. R.I.P., man. This dude's missed in the wrestling world. But why is this one special at number 3?
So this is another one that is on multiple interactions.
Okay. That's fine.
First time I met Popper was at AdventureCon back in the day in Knoxville, Tennessee. And I had all of my money was in my wallet, and I had left it on his table while we took a picture. And he's like, "Oh no, son, you don't leave that." And he got a kick out. He's like, "Man, that's a lot of money. What do you do?" And my dad was actually at the end of the aisle in his wheelchair. At the time, I was a full-time college student and took care of my dad.
Okay.
So I said I took care of my dad, and he was like, "Oh, I respect that. You're a good man. You're a good son." And I had him sign my ROH poster that apparently he canceled the show and never appeared at. But they had him on the old ROH message board on the old ROH shop back in the day. And I had him sign my copy of Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Okay.
And he cracked up and goes, "Hey, my wife said nobody'd ever even watch this."
Funny how our wives criticize us.
Yeah, ain't that right? So years later, I run into him at Fanboy when I'm working there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's upstairs having lunch. I don't bother anybody when they're eating.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "Oh, come on, sit down." And we get to talking, and he goes, "I feel like I've met you before." And I told him at AdventureCon, he goes, yeah, you were taking care of your dad." And I said, "Yeah, he passed away last year." "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." Well, it was nice that he remembered that interaction.
Mm-hmm.
And then that last time I met him, he was playing around with the promoter's daughter because she just thought he was so cool. And it was really sweet to see Roddy not as the superstar, not as anything, but just he was an old dude playing with kids.
Yep.
It was nice to see that version of him. And
I can just hear that laugh that, that he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob got a boxing glove signed by him, and he thought Bob was one of the workers that night. Because I have to send you these photos of Bob. Like I said, you guys would have got along great and stuff with all your interactions. And then I get up there and I'm just like, "Well, shit, Bob, you just stole all the thunder from the room." I got my biography signed, but I just remember him like going, "You working?" Like,
I get okay. So Popper's autobiography.
Mm-hmm.
How much of it do you remember?
I think I read it when it came out, so it's been a while. So
I remember one story from it when he slept with his roommate's girlfriend.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and reread it. Yeah, okay.
Go back and reread that story.
Okay.
And see what happens to him when he woke up the next day.
Okay. The last one I remember vividly reading was like Al Snow's. When he talks about the shit show of the promoter bringing down the horses.
I didn't even know Al had one.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to talk that off camera, and then otherwise we'll have to do like another episode like this where we bring up our top 5 wrestling autographs or memorabilia. So
there you go.
But for me, number 3, Teddy Long. Now, folks, I cheated and got my friend to take a photo of me while I was talking to him because I spent all my money on a vendor table. And this is before I had a dual income with my wife. But this is me giving Tootsie Pops to Teddy Long. Now, Teddy Long, we did our first vendor table at this promotion, MEW. His table was right next to us. So before the show starts, he comes over, starts interacting with us. He saw my tumblers. He's like, "How do I get one of these?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "How do I get one of these?" I'm like, "Well, sir, they're actually for giveaways." He's like, "Oh, okay, what do I got to do to give it away?" And I was like, "Oh, having people like our page, the internet's not working in the gym, so we didn't think to connect to the Wi-Fi." First table. Anywho, so he just kind of joked around, was asking about the dual podcast and stuff. Well, not to throw his business out there, but I'm sure he said it somewhere, so I'm going to say it here. He's walking around hitting his little vape, and he's just like, "Hey, you got any more of that chocolate, son?" And I was like, "Yes, sir, I do. I have a full bag of candy." And he had a freaking Tootsie Pop pretty much that whole night while he was working his table. And I want to look through some photos and see if anybody got a picture with him in his mouth, because he just kept coming over and stealing the little chocolate bars. And then at just before the show started, he had to use the bathroom. And he's like, "Hey, have you been here before?" I'm like, "Yeah."
This is so great into an ad.
I'm like, I've been here before, but yeah, let me help you find the bathroom. So we're walking in the back hallway, just BSing, and I'm trying to find him the bathroom, and we find the locker room. Well, they locked it before the show started, so the boys couldn't get in there. I don't know. So I'm just like, oh man, I'm so sorry. Well, luckily the ring announcer and like general manager or whatever he does for MAW, Brian, he's like, oh, Mr. Long, follow me this way. And I was like, damn it. Like, I was supposed to be the hero of this story. And here comes Brian, Hollywood, messing it up for me. But then when he comes back, he says, thank you for helping me find the bathroom, even though they locked the door. We must have went to the wrong locker room, I guess. But, yeah, so I had that interaction. But he kept coming over throughout the night and talking to us. So it was, like, super cool.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you get a quality THC product from a quality place.
Yeah, and then he's, like, literally ripping apart the show, not to be negative, but like critiquing.
Yeah.
And then that's what really kind of like resonates with me is when I see other people doing that, because then it makes me start looking at my product, looking at my screen, looking at my thing. And there's a guy, I don't know if he still wrestles. This isn't to offend or be disrespectful. So if you ever do watch or if you have any stake in my podcast here, came out as like a pirate gimmick. That was his thing. Okay. And he basically had his pirate pants on, but not like the rest of it. And like Teddy's like, what the hell are you doing? Dress the whole gimmick. If you're going to do it all, and then like guys and gals kept coming over like, hey,
the ring just in pirate pants?
No. It's for the meet and greet and stuff. So like,
okay.
Teddy was like, critiquing everything. Everybody's coming over and like, hey, really appreciate you coming. I'm just like, okay, here comes like the young guys to, snooze up. But it was just really cool to watch him critique things and tell people like, this is what I would do, and I was like, all right. So people are watching, even though you're not thinking they're watching. And I want everybody to take that, from this podcast today with meeting professional wrestlers. If you're a professional wrestler, just know they're watching and they're probably talking about you at their table, even though they don't look interested. They're probably critiquing everything you do. So
yeah,
but
well, that's there used to be some shows in Lexington, Kentucky that I had overheard Rikishi doing the same thing, and I was just like, yeah, because I did not agree with anything he was saying.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was nervous. We have a local guy here, Devon Monroe, a fabulous wrestler. I'm sure you see me post about it.
Joe?
No, thank goodness. But phenomenal wrestler. And then one of the older wrestlers was critiquing his stuff, and I was like waiting for something inappropriate because Devon is part of the LGBTQ community. And I was waiting for something, and I was like, all right, this is going to be my moment where I have to say something to somebody. And he's just like, that kid? He's scrawny, but he can fucking go. And I was like, okay. Like, he was, like, leading with, like, a small insult, but then, like, following it with, like, the hugest compliment. He's just like, if you put on a little bit more muscle, he'd be in the E right now. And I'm just like, okay. But he wasn't trying to be rude, you know what I mean? But I was just like, oh boy, like I have to be the voice of reason here. And I'm sure other people have felt that way too with things. But yeah, it's just funny when you hear like professional wrestlers critique other professional wrestlers. So
absolutely. But
number 2 here, I'll make sure I don't mess it up here. Like I said, folks.
Go
ahead.
So I'm going to take this opportunity to mention the sponsors that Till 5 wonderfully has gotten lucky with.
Oh, yeah. We should probably do that, too. We'll do ours at the end of the episode, though. Go ahead.
You were talking about Teddy and his pen. Mm-hmm. One of our favorite sponsors is our good friends at Green Hemp Company. They're in Greenville, Tennessee. You can find them on Facebook. They're at 25 East Andrew Johnson Highway in Greenville, Tennessee, I believe. That's just off the top of my head. Really solid people. Stover's Liquidation in Oak Ridge and Cookeville, Tennessee. And they have all of the home improvement stuff that you could need. You can even order it off their website and just swing by and pick it up. If anybody is remotely close to that area that the deals there are far better than anyone else. And Magic Vapor Shop, magicvaporshop.com. They're all over the state of Kentucky. That's where Till 5 Tan is at today. Why he's not with us. He's working his shoot job. So
please tell me it's not a chicken place.
No. It's Magic Vapor Shop. It's where you get all of your vapor needs.
Oh, so we had an in with the sponsor. Okay.
They have been helping people ditch the paper and switch to vapor since 2013.
I like the catchphrase. I don't do any of that fun stuff, but hey, no judgment here at Friends of the Squirt Circle.
Sorry, that's when you were talking.
No,
about
I just
Teddy
like the
with his
slogan.
pen.
You know, I don't care. You're fine. You're good. You're good.
No,
Don't
when you were
talk.
talking about Teddy with his pen,
Yeah.
I immediately.
That's who they need to bring in for a meet and greet, man. The dude, he's fun. He is a good guy. Like, I had a lot of fun hanging out with him. Like, even my friends were like, dude, you guys are like best friends. I'm like, I know. And then he jokingly said, well, good luck with the podcast, Leia. And I was like, oh my gosh. You know, it would be fun just to see him now and be like, remember when you saw me when I only had 200 friends? Now I got almost 5K. Yes. Anywho, we digress. But number 2 here, you've got Scott Norton, NWO, like you said, NWO for life. But Scott Norton.
Very old picture, Aaron with blonde hair there. So that is actually my first ever convention.
Okay.
Adventure Con in 2007 or 2008. It blurs. Norton was a guest there. I was really excited to meet him because I'd been a fan of the NWO, like I said. And he was just super nice, take pictures and just chit-chat with me and my dad the whole weekend, to the point that, like, Jimmy Hart during the wrestlers Q&A was like, oh, ain't you buddies with Scott over here? What do you want to know about? And
Jimmy Hart's awesome too.
Yeah, it was neat that they were noticing how much me and Scott were joking through the weekend.
That'd be a great combo to get right there. You get Teddy Long and Jimmy Hart in the same building. That's a lot of energy right there. So,
can we get Jim Cornette in there with them? Just let them all three rant for a while.
Oh man, about talking.
Put that on a commentary table.
Yes, even if it's just like bad independent wrestling, it would be hilarious. I don't like Jim Cornette because he complains a lot, but as the character that he was on TV, I thought he was great. You know, like, I'm juggling that fandom, but yeah, that would be a fun show. You know?
I feel like he's an out of touch old man. But I find it hilarious sometimes. Yeah,
and it's more because, like, I guess, you know, when it comes to something, like they say, something you love and you're constantly critiquing it, it's just like, do you lose your love for it because you're so negative about it? Because, like, you know, it's just like, when I watch wrestling, if I don't like the storyline, I'm not going online. I'm not saying it online. You know, it's just like, okay, now I just need to wait and see where it goes. You know what I mean? Because somehow it's going to tie together. And if I still don't like it, I'm not going to complain about it on the internet, because it's just like, it just makes me look like a sourpuss. You know what I mean? But that's his shtick. That's his job. He's got a podcast. So do I. But, you know, to each their own.
Well, I will, you know me, man. I will badmouth anything stupid I see. That's why we try to avoid that WWE company on our show as much as possible, because it's dog shit. But I think that Cornette is hilarious, and I think that it would be hilarious to have somebody that mouthy with those two high energy. If you could find a way to convince Vince Russo to sit at that table too, you'd make $1 million to show off commentary.
Yeah, and I don't know. Whatever about it. But my number 2 here, let's see if I make sure I click on the graphics, because I got the last couple out of order here. Oh, that's yours. See, I don't even know what I'm doing here at my show. Mine is, geez Louise, horrible. I need a better producer here. Number 2, Luke Hawk. Now, this guy, I'm sure some people don't recognize the name, but I'm sure you have seen him more than you think. Now, Luke Hawk is a wrestler out of Louisiana, New Orleans. He is a stuntman in Hollywood, a bodybuilder, fitness guy. One of his notable independent wrestling rivalries he had was with Matt Hardy. That was like all over the U.S. there for a while. I can't remember what year that was. But Luke Hawk has been in the Logan movie. He's the one that gets the 3 blades right through the skull in the hotel room. He plays Stone Cold Steve Austin on The Young Rock. Trying to think what else. He gets blown up in Homefront with Jason Statham, who makes the same movie over and over again. But yeah,
with James Franco as a drug dealer.
Yes,
right?
It's a great movie. I like it. It's a great movie. Jason Statham just needs to pick another genre to try, because they're all the same.
They all make money.
They do, and I like watching movies, but it's just the same movie over and again. And The Rock's becoming that too, so it happens. He wears the same shirt every movie. Just kidding. But yeah, Luke Hawk. I was going to meet a wrestler who looked pretty intoxicated and verbally and physically messed up. Like he could barely even keep his shit together. And my buddy's like, well, aren't you going to go meet so-and-so? And I was like, I'm not spending my money on...
Come on.
What's that?
I said name names.
It's got 1, 2, 3 in the title, and you can suck it. But it was X-Pac before he got clean. Okay, folks. Yeah, I've said it multiple times on here, but I was trying to be a little nicer. But you know,
you're here with. You don't need to be nice.
Yeah, but he's never gonna watch my show. I've given him a sticker though. But yes, X-Pac looks great. He needs his own Hall of Fame versus just being in with DX. That's my opinion.
And the NWO.
And NWO, only guy to do it. I'm not counting Shawn Michaels because that shit was dumb. Yeah, so I was like, no, I'm going to go spend my money on the other guy, because I don't know who that is, and I'm going to go get a picture. So I met him there. It was a big casino show, legendary, super nice guy, super friendly. And then he was at another show where they kind of had like a little stable. So he was probably 4 or 5 shows within that promotion where he was kind of the guy. He beat up Matt Hardy at one of them. He wrestled, I believe, Darren Corbin and a few others. I cannot remember their silly group name, but he was there. And he just had a table by himself. Like he just like pulled a table out because he must not have been doing stuff. But he just like grabbed a table from the cart and just set it down. I was like, well, I'll just sit out here and chat. And he was the heel, so I'm sure he was just out there to get a couple bucks. So me and my buddy Bob walk over and talk to him and stuff. And that interaction was so cool because like there was nobody. And we just sat there and talked to him because we had like time to kill about his workout videos, his time in what was it, Wrestling Society X. About him being a stunt, like just everything. And it was so cool. And he's like, hey man, I ain't got no merch to sign. I literally just pulled this table off the rack. I'm here to hang out. I got some bumper stickers from Wildcat Sports that he runs down there. I was like, yeah, I'll get that signed. I don't care. And I tried to throw him money. He threw it back at me. And it was just like a very personal interaction. And then having met him 3 or 4 times before that, it's like, okay, he knows me because, I'm with the other guy with the big beard and stuff. And they had a really big show at another casino a couple of years later. And as I'm walking to the car to bring all of our stuff out to the car real quick, he's like, oh, hey, Cal. And I was like, oh, hey, Luke, and I'm just being like, okay, let me do my thing. I don't want to, rub shoulders with you because I don't want to be rude. And he's like, aren't you going to the show? And I was like, yeah, I'm just putting all of our stuff in the car. He's like, cool. Come find me. And I was like, okay. And as I'm walking, further out to my car, this guy in the parking lot's like, Luke Hawk? And I was like, yeah. Even though I don't. But then like I go inside, I'm trying to find everybody that we're there with, and he's in line ordering food. And he's like, Cal, come here. What's good to eat around here? I'm like, well, they got the burgers. I mean, I know you're on your diet and stuff, and he's like, well, I've been seeing you've been doing your diet stuff. How's that going? I was like, well, I've lost this, and this, doing this. He's like, that's great. Come sit with us. And I was like, no, you got to get ready. I got to go find my friends and Like the whole time I kept bumping into him, and it wasn't like intentional. And he just like kept talking. It's probably because he was like the only person that he knew there besides his son. So he's like, "Oh, I know that face. I want someone to like show me around here." But yeah, just a cool guy. He said he wants to come on the show, but I just have to somehow get him to send me the correct email so I can send him the invite. But he's constantly doing movies. He's back wrestling this year, limited dates because of his injuries and stuff. But yeah, check out Luke Hawk, huge F in arms, man. That guy is a treasure. So that's my story.
Was he with Eric Cannon in Wrestling Society X?
Yeah, and so was X-Pac was there actually too. So it's kind of funny that you brought that up. Seth Rollins was there. Colt Cabana. Not Seth Rollins. Was Seth Rollins there? I gotta double check. Yeah, okay.
Seth Rollins and Jimmy Jacobs, they were
that's who I'm thinking of.
Doing It For Her was the name of their tag team.
Okay. Yeah, I got the box set out in the car. It's signed by a few of the guys, so and I've met Seth Rollins as well. But that was $100 autograph that I wasn't paying for at the time. When he was still kind of the first year running as champion, so but I digress.
I ended up getting a really sweet metallic Tyler Black autograph from Hospitals. Yeah. I had a fun interaction with him on MySpace back in the day.
Yeah, and the thing is too is like he's wrestled with, Cannon and stuff and down in that area, and I believe CZ is good friends with the other owner of their school down there in Iowa, Black and Brave, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Merritt Brave. Yeah.
Gotcha. So, but before we finish up, we obviously got to do our number ones. So we're gonna have you rock this out here. You have number one, Lex and Nikita Koloff. I am jealous that you got to meet Nikita because I always thought that guy. I mean, as a young kid, I thought he was just like Ahmed Johnson, just stacked.
Dude, he still is.
Yeah, that Russian gimmick, I was like, oh man, he could be so much more. He could be like Hulk Hogan, but better. But I just, he didn't have that entertainment side of it.
Here's a fun plot twist with all of the stories you've heard me tell.
Mm-hmm.
This one is my favorite. That is me and my pastor from the church, and Lex and Nikita when we had a church event. They came in, and we ended up with, I think, 13 people got saved that night, and it was a great group of people. They were super nice, both of them. I have a voicemail still, if I can ever get back into my voicemail, of Lex Luger calling me and thinking that I was the pastor.
Oh, okay.
It was Pastor Aaron. This is Lex Luger. I was like, no, man, no. And then the same kind of interaction with Nikita. And Nikita came back. He came back with Magnum TA a couple of years ago.
Nice.
And Lodi, like super nice guys. He'll come for travel for the church stuff. Like, and that's, to me, that's somebody who's actually doing it for the right reasons.
Right.
And I love that interaction with him. So those two guys have to be my number one, especially with the end result of the night, which is full circle of who I am, who I was when that's my number one interaction. Yeah, I'm a little different.
Yeah, we know. No, shit.
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
So with my number one, I have met 3 or 4 times. I can't remember how many at this point. But Scott Hall. And I know there's stories of them in the locker room back in the day, him and Nash, with their egos or whatever. Nash has been super cool to me every time I met him. I digress. But Scott Hall, I got to meet him in Minneapolis. Me and my buddy Wade got a picture with him. Then I met him at another show with all the NWO guys. And there's always these funny little things that had happened. But the last time I got to meet him was down in Tampa before the COVID WrestleMania, where they put us in, evacuated us, brought us back out. I was at the WrestleCon there, and we started talking about Sean. And like, there's no one really there because of the COVID restrictions. So like, there's probably like 100 people walking around meeting 70 wrestlers. Like, it was just crazy how much one-on-one you could do. And I'm so lucky I got to go to that WrestleMania because like, it was, not as crazy as it should have been. And it was nice because by myself, I didn't want to be dealing with that. But the way he talked about Shawn made me realize how close him and Shawn were. And for him to sit there and just talk about Shawn, like, it's like, wow, like, that's friendship. You know what I mean? Like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And he was talking about everything Shawn. He didn't want to talk about himself. He didn't want to talk about, other things. He just wanted to talk about Shawn. And I just thought that was so cool. And just got to sit there and talk with him for 5 minutes like a human and talk to him about his friends, And like I said, they get a bad rap like on like the ego thing, but every time I've met that man, super cool, super nice. And I remember talking to him and Nash saying how like, thank you for making my childhood awesome with the NWO, and they're like, thanks for making us a lot of money, kid. And shot and yeah, it's so cool. Like, that's the story that sticks with me the most, is how like he just wanted to talk to me about how good Shawn was doing with his recovery, and that he wanted to get back in the ring one more time. And we even talked about that wrestling show that they were all at, and that was probably, I think, if the guy is telling the truth online, that's one of the last times all four were in the same capacity at a show for wrestling. Not a con, not a thing, but just like a wrestling show. But I digress. But yeah, Scott Hall, amazing human, gone way too freaking soon, because I'd love to hit him up again and just be like, who are we gonna talk about this time, friend? Because he got so much passion just talking about Shawn.
Well, and that's you've kind of seen some of the same passion from our interactions with these guys here, and even how I think that is the one thing that I feel like wrestlers get, having worked in conventions. Yep. Wrestlers get above any other person you're going to have the chance to meet. If you ever get a chance to go to a convention like Fanboy or Scarefest, I know their next one's coming up in Lexington soon. Jericho's going to be there. Tanner is super excited for that one. But wrestlers are one of the few entertainers that get the only reason that they have a career is because of their fans.
Yep.
And that's, if you ever get a chance, a viewer gets a chance to meet these people, take that opportunity. I got to see a moment of kindness from a wrestler I didn't expect at my first convention. Raven.
Okay.
His girlfriend had left, and she's the one that handles the money. So me and him were just sitting there chit-chatting at his table about wrestling, about his NWA title run. And I asked him, I said, did it bother you that even though you won the belt, you didn't main event Unbreakable 2005, and then you lost the belt not on pay-per-view? And he goes, it didn't really bother me. I got paid the same.
Yep.
And I wasn't in the main event. That's fine. Like, it wasn't my time for the story. And he said it wasn't Russo's fault. I always liked that about him. He was honest about it. And this guy comes up with his kids, and he's got his program with him. He said, sir, I don't mean to bother you, but I didn't know that everybody was going to be charging for autographs. Could I get you to, sign something for my kids? He goes, yeah, man, it's fine. Hand me your program. And he signed the program and made it out to him, and the guy left, and he goes, I don't get why people want to be a jerk about it. This is just a guy taking his kids out. These are the people that we have a living off of.
Yep.
And he got it. And I loved that interaction because, like Scott, he gave you a story, and I guarantee that you got that interaction because he understands.
Yep.
You're not just somebody that he's going to make $20 off of. He's touched your life for a reason. And wrestlers get that.
Yep. And before we close this out here, I want to thank my sponsors because you did it first. Inside Out Nutrition for all your healthy teas and drinks and donuts. Yes, healthy donuts, folks. I love them. As well as Superior Creation, who makes all of our beautiful custom tumblers that we give away at shows. So give them a like and follow there on Facebook. Just search Inside Out Nutrition as well as Superior Creations. We brag about them on our page as well. Just get yourself some snacks and a beautiful tumbler to enjoy them out of. Last but not least, we got to thank Darren Corbin, who is a sponsor as well. I just figured we'd get booed if we put his picture up on the graphics here, so that's why we just have our main two there. Also, real quick, this will be for the question I put on YouTube or TikTok at the 58-minute mark, so I remember in my head, what is something that fans shouldn't ask pro wrestlers when they meet them?
Does it hurt? It's all I've seen.
I was not expecting just a deadpan. Does it hurt? All right, folks.
And then, like, will you chop me? Like, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Some drunk
I only want to take one from the Big Show. Because Bob and I had a bet that I wouldn't ever do it. Anywho, but if you don't ask a wrestler, or oh my God, I'll cut it in here. Things not to ask a pro wrestler, in my opinion, are what are your favorite matches? Who's your favorite opponent? You know, those are the so redundant questions. I challenge you as fans to ask them something more personal. Who's their best friend in pro wrestling? Or would you ever watch a Tell 5 episode? It's your boy Cranderq Q of Friends of the Square Circle. If you want to be just like Notorious here and be on your own episode of Friends of the Square Circle, hit us up on Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok. Yes, folks, we're on TikTok. We're not dancing. We're not singing. We're posting questions daily. If you want to be in an episode, don't forget to give us a like on Facebook, YouTube. Send us a message. We will get you in the driver's seat. I'm just trying to run this out to the final minute here. Find us at Friends of the Squared Circle. Let's be friends. Oh, did I do it?